Alison, welcome. On top of your impressive portfolio at ACL and leadership in advocating for older adults and people with disabilities, you have been a true champion of our work to assist Holocaust survivors, diverse older adults with a history of trauma, and their family caregivers too. From the moment you took office, you and your team have extended ACL's warmth, expertise, and resources to advance our mission to promote a person-centered, trauma-informed culture of care across the lifespan. We are so grateful for your support and look forward to continued partnership with the Administration for Community Living. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Shelley. It's great to be here and be able to speak to all of you. And I really wish I could be there in person with you. I'm so grateful to the Jewish Federations of North America for this opportunity to say a few words and to show my appreciation for the incredibly important work you all are doing. For those of you who are not familiar with the Administration for Community Living, or ACL for short, let me give you a brief description of our agency. We were created in 2012 to bring together in one agency the main parts of the federal government that support community living for older adults and people with disabilities. Our goal is to support the civil right and the overwhelming desire that people of all ages have to live in their own home, in the community of their choice, and with the people they choose to live with. We are focused on quality community living, making sure that older adults and people with disabilities have the services and supports they need to fully participate in their communities. We accomplish our mission through a broad array of programs and partnerships, including our continued support for the Jewish Federations of North America's critical work on person-centered, trauma-informed care. We partner across the federal government with departments and agencies that have overlapping interests in supporting older adults and people with disabilities. These partnerships can include working with the Department of Justice to address scams and fraud, or with HHS's Office for Civil Rights to address discrimination and barriers in accessing healthcare, or with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to make sure that people can access home and community-based services and supports. ACL funds aging and disability networks made up of more than 20,000 community-based organizations that are in every state and most communities, and each of them is a trusted broker in their community. And as I mentioned, we fund the Jewish Federations of North America and their partners to implement person-centered, trauma-informed supportive services for Holocaust survivors and other older adults with histories of trauma, as well as their caregivers. ACL supports your work because we know it promotes the dignity, strength, and empowerment of trauma victims. And as we enter our 9th year of funding this work and our partnership with the Jewish Federations, it's important to mention how much this effort has expanded. In 2015, ACL was funded by Congress to develop and disseminate innovations in person-centered, trauma-informed care for Holocaust survivors. And that work has been so important. And we've been glad that we made the great decision to award the initial grant to Jewish Federations, which has itself awarded many subgrants. Since 2015, because of the hard work all of you have done, so many people have been supported, and we have together learned so much. Your work has impacted tens of thousands of people by delivering services and supports that are tailored to their specific needs. In just a few short years, this program has touched the lives of nearly 44,000 Holocaust survivors, over 8,000 other older adults who have histories of trauma, and more than 7,300 family caregivers. It's important to point out that the success of the work that has been done with Holocaust survivors has allowed the Jewish Federations to expand its reach to other older adults who are trauma survivors and their family caregivers. And you've inspired many additional organizations that support older adults to adopt the person-centered, trauma-informed approach. It shocks most people to know that the vast majority of older adults are trauma survivors. Over the course of a person's life, studies have shown that the probability of being a trauma victim is as high as 90%. Put simply, we cannot effectively support most older adults if we don't address trauma. And all of ACL's programs know that you can't effectively support anyone if you don't use a person-centered approach. That's a message we all need to spread, that person-centered trauma-informed support works because it addresses reality. And it's an effective approach because it is evidence-based. I know that you all are learning from the work you do. And as our work has matured, we've learned that in addition to helping Holocaust survivors, we can help other people, including older veterans and first responders, older adults who have been refugees, crime victims, victims of domestic violence, or who have survived natural disasters, older adults who have experienced racial and/or gender discrimination, and we of course can't forget the professionals who work in healthcare and related settings, who see the impacts of trauma firsthand or experience trauma as a result of their work. The work all of you do addresses so many issues, such as comprehensive case management, including care transition activities, making sure older adults have access to mental health services, assisting and accessing trauma-informed legal assistance, providing caregiver support, and home care nutrition and transportation services. But your work goes beyond directly supporting individual people. You are working to change systems too. The work of the Jewish federations and all of your subgrantees has resulted in the training of nearly 20,000 professionals in the principles of person-centered, trauma-informed care. The work you are doing is transforming systems and creating change that will sustain itself well into the future. Your work is also helping to expand community-based approaches to person-centered, trauma-informed care through the establishment of leadership councils of aging services providers. These partnerships are helping to frame and prioritize the needs of Holocaust survivors, older adults, and family caregivers with trauma histories. Because of all you do, so many people are living healthier lives and participating more fully in their communities. And we are moving forward to a future when person-centered, trauma-informed care is not just a best practice, but it is standard practice. Thank you for your amazing contributions and for your continued commitment to advocating for and practicing person-centered, trauma-informed support for Holocaust survivors and other people experiencing trauma. I can assure you that ACL is equally committed to continuing our partnership with the Jewish federations and with all of you. Thank you again for everything you do, and I hope you have a successful and productive workshop. Thank you.